Good morning. Happy first day of October. See? Yay, we have sound. We are good to go. Welcome. So, I hope everyone is doing well. I'm Diane. Thanks for joining. Happy I had my camera set up there. I wasn't quite ready. I wish when I went to do these, I didn't have to always put in there that I'm going to record in English, and I'm always going to record in English. I don't know any other language. So, on 15-minute cards, we are making silhouette cards. We did some of this a little bit when we did our Brusho workshop, but we used different color cardstock to coordinate with our Brusho designs that were created. And today I kind of just wanted to do the traditional black silhouette on a background. These don't take long to make, but I have a lot of variations that I want to share with you. And I am not using all Stampin' Up! Products. I will use some, but I'm going to introduce you today to Lavinia stamps. And Lavinia stamps, and trust me, I don't promote them, I don't work for them or anything. They're just stamps that I like. I'm trying to figure out why this says I'm not receiving enough video to maintain your... It's not receiving enough video to maintain. As such, viewers will experience buffering. Well, I'm sorry. I don't have anything else on... Oh, that Bing wallpaper. I forgot to close it. Let me see if that'll do it. Maybe that'll help. So anyways, Lavinia stamps are, they're made in the UK, and the stamp designer, Tracy, I think her last name is Dutton, I apologize, I forgot to look that up. She makes really pretty stamps. And there are a lot of fairies, magical, mystical stamps, things like that. So if you're into fairies, you might want to check out Lavinia stamps. She also makes great little critters. So I like bunnies. So she makes little hares, large rabbit stamps. And so over the past couple years, I've gotten several of her stamps, and I did get some fairies, and she makes pretty little floral stamps and stuff. And I'm going to share some of those with you. And some of the creators who use the Lavinia stamps, they oftentimes use these in silhouette cards. So I thought this was the perfect time. So I opened up my box, and here, I guess the last time I ordered from there, I think it was during one of our catalog releases, and I never opened any of the stamps. I never used them. And so when I opened up my box today, and this isn't the box of stamps, this is just where I put those stamps. I know at one point we had been talking about masks, and I needed a hillside or something, so I kept thinking, I know I have masks, and I couldn't find them, so I just cut some out of acetate or whatever. Well, here's my brand new masks. I did get them from Lavinia, and had never even opened them. So I have those to use today, which we probably will. So your list of products that you need today are really, you just need some paper and some black ink. And then your mat or your background can be whatever you want it to be. So I thought this was the perfect time to share with you some mat dimensions. And you can see I've given you two different sets of dimensions. One is if you're going to use you're going to decrease your mat sizes by 1/4 of an inch, and the other is if you're going to decrease your mat sizes by 1/8 of an inch. So you might want to take a screenshot of this and just keep it for future use. And I have a little visual here that I will share with you. And you can keep going smaller and smaller in these sizes, but really, if you get too small, you're not going to leave yourself enough room to do much designing. So I know, like if you do a 5x7 card, which are bigger, you have a lot of room for design there. Okie dokie. So if you got that, oops, come on, undo. Here you go. All right. So I've taken out a couple of other things. I did take out my Distress inks. I thought maybe I would use some of them, but I don't know. I don't have a lot of Distress Oxide, and Distress Oxide is Tim Holtz inks, and when you splatter them with water, they leave little water spots, which I really like. But I don't have a lot of Distress Oxides. I have some Distress inks, but not a lot of oxide, which I will change because I like to be able to add those little water spots. So this is just, and this is so easy. I did this right before we started our video. I cut my flower out of black cardstock using those meadow dies. And then any type of font dies that you have, you can use. I will say, if you're going to do something like this, save yourself some aggravation. And if you're using small fonts like that, get some adhesive sheets, put it on the back of your cardstock, and we did this during our brush show workshop as well. I just put some adhesive. Oh, that's why my G didn't stick. I had to glue my G down on there. Put some adhesive sheet on your cardstock. When you die cut your words out, then you'll just be able to peel the back release paper off, and you don't have to worry about using a fine tip glue to adhere that to your card. Okay? It's just to save you some aggravation. They work really well, and they're very sticky. So I didn't know why my G wasn't sticking. Okay, so this was just die cut on black cardstock. I layered it onto some designer series paper, and this was from the Meadow papers that went with our Meadow dies and stamps, and then tied a ribbon around it and stuck it on a card front. That didn't take much time. So here's what the difference is between layering your cards with 1/4 of an inch difference and 1/8 of an inch difference. So you just need to decide if you are doing a card that you would like to have a larger color border around your mat. So maybe this is white, and maybe you want your red mat to be a little bit larger. And this is, excuse me, obviously stepping this up 3 times. You could leave this top 2 layers off or the top layer off. Like I said, you could keep going. The more you go, the heavier your card is going to be to put in the mail. So you may increase your postage. I'm going to keep that in mind. So there's your 2 different designs using 1/4 of an inch or 1/8 of an inch. Okay. So just some helpful hints for you there when you're making your cards. So let's see. So these are some of, and this is what I got from Lavinia the last time that I didn't open the package and use it. My big hair. And I think he may have a name. No, Standing Hair. I thought some of her animals have names on them. I think what you would not want to use, see, I don't know if this one's a little different packaging. I don't know if this was a gift one or not. And it has they have little different plants. I have used a lot of this type of stamp from Lavinia when I'm making my Christmas wreaths. Actually, there's one in here that's been used so much it barely sticks anymore. This one. I love this for making Christmas wreaths. Some more little fairy plants. Oh yeah, him. That was the one. Does he have a name? Magnus. He does have a name. Thought so. And I don't know what this one was for. It's packaged different also. Oh, a free gift. See? They do give you free gifts. And some of these I have used, but I've not really done videos with them. So today I thought these, oh, yep, they were my first hairs that I used. Aren't they cute little bunnies? And I do have one package of little fairies. I'm not into the magical part of design and stuff, but I do like little fairies. So, and if you want to see a lot of her stamps being used, you can look for Jo Rice on YouTube. She's a wonderful artist and does a lot of different, she does a lot of ink blending, which is what we're going to do one of these cards. Oh, I was going to do I thought maybe I could do one of the fairies. I embossed, just to save some time so you don't have to watch me do all these little bits. I did emboss some backgrounds. Can you see all the little bumps? This one I embossed as well, and I messed it up right across the bottom, but I might be able to use, well, not if I'm going to layer. I was going to say I might be able to use that to my advantage, but it won't matter if I layer my stenciled piece on top. And then this was just another one. If we had time, I thought I would put together one more of the black cardstock. You can use any type of background paper and just layer your black cardstock on that. This actually is from a Spellbinders die cut set that I have that I make, and I usually only use this for wedding cards because it's a very dimensional card and it's like 5 layers. So if you have a piece of black cardstock and you cut it out, layer it on some of your backgrounds and see how it stands out. These were some Brusho backgrounds. You might, and it doesn't have to be black. Maybe I want to use this background and I cut it out, although this wouldn't show up very well. I was going to say out of a darker purple. Let's see. Ooh, that's kind of pretty on that one. And there's one more of them. Obviously that was a big sheet of watercolor paper that I did. And then I cut it to use for cards. These are prints that I made off my jelly plate. And I have done a video on that before, and we will do that again, but this also would be pretty for a background. Like the blue. So we might use one of those. I think that's just extra white paper. All right. But my first one, of course, we're going to do my all-time favorite, ink blending. Yeah. Surprise. So let me get a dirty paper here. Well, this one's already pretty messed up. All right. That out of the way. So, hope everybody's good. It's beautiful day for October. Oops. Almost lost my bunny. So what color do I want to put my little hair on? I think I had some pieces of just white, and these are 4 by 5 1/4 inches. And well, let's make him on a little hill. So I can use those masks that I couldn't find before. I think I don't want him to have a big hill. So here's what you also have to remember when you're using a mask to do something like a hillside or whatever, be inking your papers up. Think for a minute here, because I know I want my hill here. But if I start inking this with green or brown or whatever I'm going to use, I'm actually inking the sky. See what I mean? My ink's going to go on the paper in the back, and I'm actually inking the sky. So what I have to do, really, is turn my mask upside down and ink it this way with my green. And then my green or my brown, whatever I'm going to use, is going onto the bottom of our cardstock, which is where Mr. Bunny's going to sit. So let's try some Rustic Wilderness. Like I said, I don't always use my Ranger inks, my Tim Holtz inks, but I have them, and so let's use them. Get some green. I think I'll use a different sheet because, oh, excuse me, I use those background pages for journal sheets, and I don't know that I want to mix my I better keep this one. This has card measurements for Stamp-A-Stack. So we're just going to start fresh. How's that? I'm going to make my hillside going down here, I think. And I'll put my bunny. He's a rather large bunny. So what am I going to put beside him? How about just this little thingy? Might have another little plant as well. I mean, it has to be kind of substantial since I'm using the big hair on my cardboard box. I think I used those to hang down before I used that one to hang down. I don't know that that tree kind of suits him because he's too big. That might work with the other thing. Okay. You can also do this with trees. It'd be pretty with this being your water in your sky background, and maybe doing a silhouette of a tree, and then after you've inked your tree on here, flip it over and ink it in the bottom so it would be a reflection in the water. That would be pretty. So how dark is this? I should have taped this down right off the bat, see? Because I didn't know these were in there, I would have put some pixie spray on those to help hold it into place. You can hold it with your hands if you want to. I don't trust myself. I'm afraid I will make a mess. I also thought today maybe I would have used, because I did get my new Christmas stamps from Tim Holtz, and because the Christmas release is pretty new, I'm going to say there's probably a billion demos right now. So I thought I'll just hold off on that. And I think anyways, I'm not going to do a video Monday because I will be away. I think I want this kind of darker in the bottom around the edges. But the following Monday on my Facebook Monday Live video, I think I'll probably start Christmas cards in earnest. We've been doing those on the 25th of each month. But I think we'll start doing those weekly. So we've we've got a nice little hillside there. Maybe I want to add a little bit more of a hill going this way. Make it just fade into the second one, or into the hillside in the forefront. Okay. My ink off, just because you know I do that. I certainly don't want to put this down on something later and get green ink all over it. So now let's add a little bit of sky to the background. I don't really know my colors because, as I said, I don't use my Distress inks anywhere near enough. So let's see. I guess we could start with this. I'm actually, oh, this is an oxide. I actually want this to be darker because I want my scene to be kind of nighttime-ish, maybe. Not nighttime, maybe dusky. Yeah, dusky sounds good, huh? Right. And I can bring this right down to my mountain, or my hillside. I don't have to worry about stopping it. I wonder if there's a rule against mixing distress oxides and just distress, because, as I said, my oxides I don't have a whole lot of. We do have the new prize ribbon. I guess there's a new color coming out too. I haven't even used this one. How dark is that? Ooh, pretty. Let's blend a little bit of this in. I should be using a paper towel so I don't get fingerprints all over. I mean, not only do you not want to get the oil from your hands into your card, I really don't want to get green ink on me and then touch my blue sky. Oh, that kind of is making a little bit of a purpley in there. That's all right. Yeah. Must be some reddish color in one of these to make it purpley like that. Lavinia stamps also, I think they started making their their own colors of ink. And I'm going to go into black soot around my edge. We've done a couple of silhouette cards when we were doing our Halloween Raven. That was done with just black ink, and remember we made the nighttime sky. And I could have made a moon or something back here, but it's not gonna, I don't know that I want that. I think I might add a little bit of reddish purple there in the background so it does look like a sunset. But I don't know that, that's blending in pretty. What was I talking about? Oh boy, I forgot what I was even saying. Oh, the moon. Yeah, I don't know that I wanted a moon back there for my bunny rabbit, my hair. Geez, that was scary, huh? Forgot what I was even saying. So, have you ever been, I don't know, I don't even know if it was like, it wasn't a smell. It was just like the time of the day. I was sitting in our living room, and we have patio doors that open out into, I want kind of a purpley. Oh, what's that? Oh, I can't get the thing out. Oh, that's brown. I don't want brown. I want purple. Maybe I don't have purples. What's this little thing? Victorian velvet. Let's try some of that. There's a darker blue too, Chip Sapphire. I've used that before. I think that's probably one of my very first distressed inks. Now let's put some of this Victorian velvet in there and see if we can get that sky a little purpley. Anyway, I was sitting in the living room, and as I said, it looks out into our backyard, which right now the leaves on the trees are all changing, and it's really very pretty. Once the leaves are gone, I'm going to be able to see the beautiful red sunrises. So that's coming up. But this was in the afternoon, and I was just sitting there, and all of a sudden I got this feeling of when I was younger and in school, and afternoon, coming home from school, and it was time to start homework, and it was late summer, still nice enough to be outside, and for some reason it was a very comforting and peaceful memory. I don't know if it was a memory or just a feeling or what, but I just let it happen. I just sat there and enjoyed the feeling of remembering something from when I was back in school, and it seemed like it was a time where homework hadn't gotten really hard yet, and it was still manageable. But did you ever do that? Did you ever just get a feeling like that where yeah, that'll be cute. He's kind of looking like he's looking off into the sunset. Maybe I should have added a little orange in there. Is that going to be too dark? I don't know. Let's see. Orange, orange, orange. So see, I know you're out because I was using you yesterday. Can't hurt anything. It's only paper, right? Only paper. If I don't play with my inks now, when will I use them? When they're all dried up? That's not a good thing. Well, that's kind of pretty too, huh? What do you think? Does that look like the sun's starting to go down? Maybe a little bit more of that Victorian velvet there, huh? Oh, am I going to take up all my time on one background? Can't do that. Cannot do that. Oh, see, I didn't have my hands on a paper towel. Shame, shame. All right, let's get Mr. Hair on here. Now, for a black silhouette, we want to make sure we're using, I guess I could put some of these away. I don't know that I'm going to blend on the next one. We want to use a very dark pink. And so we could use Memento Tuxedo Black ink. And if I do that, I'm going to use my Stamparatus or your stamp positioning tool, whatever you have, so that I can stamp several times, because sometimes Memento, which I think I'm going to do anyway, even though I was going to use VersaFine Clair Nocturne, because I know this comes out really black. So when you use your stamp positioning tool, if it doesn't come out as dark as you would like it to be, you could restamp it. And I'll make sure I move this up here in just a second. I don't want to snap my fingers with a magnet. Okay. So all we have to do, I don't need my block then, is decide where Mr. Bunny is going to sit. And I guess he's going to be there, but I'll have to give him a little bit of ground because I don't want him to look like he's floating. And we were going to try this little fern. Are those like fiddlehead ferns? Is that what those are called? Because this is one of the ones I have not used. And then I'll just close my lid. And I thought I heard my phone ring, and hubby's already called me today. He's traveling, so I never know. Alright, so we're going to ink this up really well. Lay it on my card. Give it a nice good press and let the ink absorb into my panel, because, oops, sorry, I got that light on there again. I don't really know any way around that. Anyway, we have a lot of ink on that panel. So we want the ink to absorb into that. Let's see how it looks. I'm afraid to pick it up because I don't want to pull my card base with it. Not so bad, huh? Alright, because there's a little bit of black in here, I'm afraid now, because I think it did move a little bit. I don't want to make a, if it did move, I don't want to make a shadow on here. And it probably could have stamped better. This was my first inking. I probably should have sort of seasoned, I guess, my stamps first so that it would have inked up a little bit better. But I'll show you what we'll do to fix that. Let's cover that ink up so I don't put my hand into it. And take this out of here. And get, not that one, excuse my reach. Let's just get, oh, that's fine tip one. Don't need it that fine. That will take us all day to fill in. Red, Tomba, that's what I'm looking for. We'll just fill in where I would like it to be more solid. And why do I not have that on my hand again? Did you guys ever have in school too, when you were maybe in grade school, I remember when I was very young, when someone came in and did silhouettes of us. I do need my light. We each took turns and went and sat in front of a screen down in the auditorium, you know, and they had the light shining on us, and then somebody was sitting there making an outline of us, and then we'd go back and cut that out and of black paper and add it to background. Of course, a lot of just construction paper, so they didn't last. I remember at one point my mom had all 5 of us. She had all 5 of our silhouettes. And yeah, and then I think we gave them as Mother's Day gifts. So he's pretty cute. I'm okay with that. I'm not happy with my blue splotchy over here. I do wish, so I'm just going to use a little bit of this black and darken it up around the edge a little bit. And while I'm at it, I think I'll give Mr. Bunny a little bit of ground to stand on so that he doesn't look as though he's hopping in thin air. Same with my, maybe I want to do that in green though, huh? Just darken that a little bit. Green, green, green. Oi! Need longer arms. I shouldn't have put them away. Green. And that was Rustic Wilderness. So let's just make this a little darker down here so that our you know what we could do is use our little hillside mask. Yeah. These are some really intense colors. This is pretty nice. So, you know, for me, this is breaking out of my norm because I use Stampin' Up! Stuff all the time. So this is a little new for me. Maybe Bunny needs to be, no, I don't want to stamp on Bunny's feet. There we go, that'll work. These little masky things are cool. You can feel the ink. And then for your greeting on this, you could make, geez, I don't know, what are we going to use this for? Maybe just like a happy birthday, or I'm also going to add a little bit of, let's just use These are perfect pearls, and we have used these before as well. Of course, I want my ink out of the way before I start splattering anything else. And I'm just going to use one of my acrylic blocks. Does not take much. I need my little paintbrush. And where are you? I had you this morning. I know you're here. And take out a little bit of perfect pearls. Add a little drop of water. Don't want to spritz, because if I spritz, I'm going to blow my powder all over the place. This is just plain water. And too much water. I didn't mean for that much to come out. There we go. And this makes sort of like an iridescent, shimmery watercolor, I guess. And when this dries, it kind of leaves a pretty, oh, I should have masked over my bunny. I really want that. I'm going to use that Tombow marker and fix that, but in the meantime, let's cover his little bunny ears and stuff up. I don't want them to be silver or sparkly. I want the sky to look like it's got some stars back there. Good. Ooh, cool. I like it. Move this out of the way. Obviously, I'll continue on after our time is up today, but oh, that's the thin one again. Fine point. This is a Fresh Freesia card base. Oh, that I really cut crooked. My goodness. I scored it crooked, I guess. Oh, that would be a pretty birthday card. Look at that. I love it. Oh, I'm so excited. No, I really like that. Yeah. I'm going to set this aside so the pearls dry before I put that on there, though. I don't want to, yeah, can you see the little shimmer up in the sky? That's really pretty. Okay. So, let's see. Oh, we have enough time. I can do another one really quick here. I also had these things, but I think these are for embossing. This is not going to work for inking up a background. But I did find I have these. Where I get some of the stuff is beyond me. I don't even know. I think I got this at one of the stamp tour thingies. I was going to say, I thought there was an oval on one. So I want the negative space of an oval, and if you don't have stencils like this or anything, again, you can use a piece of paper or sticky note or a piece of acetate and die cut or punch out your shape. I'm hoping this isn't too big, actually. Looks kind of large. And give me another white panel. I really want to use that too. I want to do so many things with you. Evidently, I've used this before because it's got blue on it. And I'm going to line this oval up in the center of my 4 by 5 1/4 white card panel. And I'm going to tape this down for sure, because I do not want to move it. I don't want to move my white card either. I hope it stays right where I put it. Well, I guess I'm going to continue on with my Distress ink. Let's do this one in blues. Huh? What do we have? We have Chip Sapphire, Tumble Glass, Prize Ribbon. The Salvage Patina is a little greeny, I think. I'm not sure I want to use that one. And then my little, oh, I have a lot in the little. Oh, Speckled Egg was always pretty. Let's do the Salvage Patina later because we use that. Salty Ocean, Stormy Sky. Oh my goodness, so many colors. So pretty, pretty colors. Alright, blue brush. It's looking to me like Tumble Glass, maybe my lightest one. Is there any on that even? I'm telling you, some of the stuff has been sitting here for so long. Okay, there it is. And it may be drying out. So let's go over Tumbled Glass to get my lighter blue in the middle. I see it getting on there. Yay. Remember, sometimes when you're adding your ink, your paper doesn't look like it's getting anything, but it is. It is. Let's see, what's Speckled Egg? Let's try some of this. And also remember that when you see your brush marks on your paper, it's okay, because as the ink smooths, or as it dries, it's going to smooth out and kind of blend together. My Speckled Egg might be kind of dry. Oh, I did just turn that upside down on my... I definitely have to do something with that now. These little ones are hard to hold on to. Trying to get this a little deeper towards the outside of my oval now. And then I'm going to go in with, what am I using? That was the Salty Ocean. Let's move into Chip Sapphire, I guess. Yes, it's darker blue. Then I want to go back to my Tumbled Glass in the center and blend it back out again a little bit. Paper, I think, is moving. wasn't seeing my boo. Just keep working your colors until you get it where you want it to be. And then I need that to dry a little tiny bit because I think I will add some more of that Perfect Pearls to it since we've got that. This off. I have no idea where I put those. Oh, I was going to say where I put the little bag for these. I'm just letting my panel dry here a bit. You saw, I mean, we just added a ton of ink to that paper. And then let's take those Perfect Pearls again. And then to speed this along a little bit, I'm going to use my heat gun and just dry this a minute. So I apologize for the noise. This is dry enough. I don't want to stamp on that with black ink. What I could do is just use another one of my black flowers. That would work as well. Yes, it will. Going to be a paper for something. Why not? I have it, right? I have it cut. Glue, please. Glue. Oh, yeah, my coffee. So let's just, this is eyes again, cut out of black construction, or black cardstock. Me talking about school and construction paper. This is just out of basic black. I'll just add a couple dots of glue to this. And This one may have looked better had I not put the perfect pearls. I should have probably kept my mask on there and done the perfect pearls and then taken it off, and it would have all stayed in the blue. That's okay. Yep. So let's use some of that black cardstock, not construction paper, cardstock, that I put the adhesive paper backing on. And I'll set that aside for 1 minute here. Put my pin back in my glue so I don't dry it out. I put things away, I know where they're at, right? So they say. And then, as I said, you can use any word fonts that you have when you're doing this. If you want to cut your words out, you could stamp them directly onto your card base too. You don't even have to have a die cut. I like die cutting, so I'll have to use the big one. I have my little mini set aside, all ready to go for our holiday Stamp-A-Stack next week. I do want to kind of remind, if you're planning on attending the Stamp-A-Stack, which one of these didn't have sticky the whole way, remember? Wednesday, the 6th, right? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wednesday's pretty busy. The 7th, there are still openings, but I would say that really there are enough people attending Stamp-A-Stack on the 6th that if you're interested in this, you may want to plan on the 7th attending. And I need to know that by the 4th so I can have all of your paper, cardstock cut, and all of your embellishments ready. Make sure I have enough. I mean, I think I have enough should I get any last minute folks, but I don't want to not be able to get your supplies ready. Ooh. Oh, I lost my... Is there a tittle to the eye on this one? I'm not sure. I'll have to look. These dies, I also got these when I went to that stamp scrap art tour in Monroeville this past summer. These are Creative Expression. I don't know if I have that straight. I do like to use a T-ruler when I'm putting these on so I can make my words somewhat straight. I can get them off my finger. And see how much easier that makes the adding a font. I didn't have to glue dot or add little dots of glue all over the back of those teeny tiny letters. And I think what I have that I may use on this, I had some glue. And see, these are not hard to do because these cards were not planned out ahead of time, obviously, which you may not appreciate that fact. But I tend to just go where the cards take me. They kind of tell me what they want, right? So sometimes trying to plan them out ahead of time doesn't really work. And besides that, I never really know, like, oh, there they are. Yep. I never really know, like, if I'm going to use some of my gel plate backgrounds or something like that. I don't really know what color is going to be dominant in there. So I don't always know ahead of time what card base I want to have, or I just kind of have to look at it as it's being created. I had no intention of doing a blue sympathy card here, but it kind of just did. Oh, it's stuck to my... I'm also able to mask over some of the perfect pearls there. And look at that. So these are some silhouette cards ideas. Move some of these out of the way. Get this in here so you'll be able to see the cards. We got a couple done. I'm going to continue on, and I really want to use that that one paper from my gel press that I had made. So here we go. I'm gonna think of what I want to. I think I'll do a happy birthday on that one, and then I will add that photo to this video once it's finished. And there we go. So I hope I gave you a few ideas anyways. If you have a die cut machine and you can cut some of your silhouettes out of black cardstock, that's a simple way to do it. And if not, just use your black ink. I would suggest using a nice solid stamp, not something that is more of an outline. Oh, that would be pretty too. I don't know, play with your stamps and give it a go. So thanks for being with me. Have a wonderful weekend. I will see you next Friday. Wednesday or Thursday if you're coming to Stamp a Stack. Friday on YouTube. Saturday at our Stamp Camp Day. And then the following Monday, back on Facebook. So thanks for being with me. Enjoy the start of your October, and we'll see ya. Bye.